out of the wind here. Today is a lot of random chores. Finishing up, like putting our H's in or the cross in to make our H braces. And I'm gonna finish weed eating this fence line. That way, once this weather breaks, hopefully, on my next CQ day off, I will start knocking out some more fence line. Yeah. But I know, like I said before, a few times I said I was gonna give you guys some drone footage and the wind stopped it. I think today it might be all right. It's pretty breezy, but we'll see what happens. All right, hey everyone. Good afternoon. I've been getting kind of the crap end of the stick lately on CQ days off. For a while I had a good streak going where my CQ day off was actually really nice weather, and then the last few have been really crappy weather. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I was talking about before on the fencing, because I think some people were a little bit confused. Just might have been the way I said it. So whenever you put posts up like this, these are my end posts, or it'd be a corner post, you know, if I was going that way with it. So what I have here, these two right here are going to act together in order to hold this fence tight until the other either wooden post, tree, or whatever it is I have in the way that's a sturdy item to pull and hold tension against. So maybe not that high. So the way I have this, right, you can see that I'm taking a diagonal from the top right here. I want to go to the bottom of that next post, because this fence, the way it's being pulled, the tension is actually on the top of the post, and if it got saturated enough, it'll start pulling that post in. This one isn't getting pulled or anything like that. It actually went in sideways or at an angle because of some rock that was in the ground. I couldn't get past it, so I had to go into an angle with the post driver and it got past it. But long story short, it should be straight up. However, it's not. So if I wanted to put this diagonal brace in, I would actually cut this end to match the angle. So I'd cut it like this straight down, and it'd be right up against this board or this post, so it's flat. And then I'd do the same thing on here. That would give me the most ability to pull tight and not have to worry about my fence becoming loose over time. Now, if you look at this fence line, this one is a lot different than the rest. It has mostly trees being used as our posts. And what that gives us is a super tight fence. So look at this. I mean, it's like a guitar string. And that's good. That's very good. This fence is not the end of our property, but we consider this to be a perimeter fence for us because this is all of our hayfield. Our sheep will not be allowed in here unless, let's say that we cut and we get more than enough bales than what we need for the rest of the, or to get us through the next winter. Then we may not cut a second batch or a second cut of hay because it's wear and tear on equipment, and then I've got hay that's sticking around until it's sold. I may use it for ground to graze them on. It just depends on the year. So we want this to be good and tight because this is going to keep any and all predators that we might have coming through this field towards our sheep at bay. It will help deter them. It's not going to stop them for good, but it is a very good deterrent. If this was on the other side of the fence, on the outside, this would be a problem because coyotes, for instance, will get on top of that and they jump over. This fence being tight like this is very important to us though, because like I said, this is considered a perimeter fence for us. This is a perimeter fence for us. This borders our neighbor. So we want all these to be tight. Same thing down there. We have a lot of trees that are being used as posts. You saw that in previous videos. So this makes it to where we can pull this very tight and not have to worry too much about it being pulled on. Now when we get to the other end down here, same thing. We're gonna pull it very tight. We won't have to worry about it. Or it'll keep us, our minds a little bit more at ease. It'll help George, less that he'll have to do. Now, I mentioned that because you're gonna see most of our end posts or our corner posts, most of them are making an H. And an H is good enough for us in most cases. Now, on that end, like I just showed you, had a lot of trees. On that end of our perimeter, you can see there's no trees. So on that end, we're gonna end up doing a diagonal because we want it to be stronger so we can pull as tight as possible and not have to worry about that post being pulled over. Or snapping the post, that's another possibility. But putting it at an angle like this Makes it to where all that tension that's on this post is relieved, because where it's at on the ground right here, this puts all the tension from that post over there on the base of this one, which is where it's strongest. Now if I did it up here, right, just like anything else, it has leverage because it's away from what's holding it, which is the ground, and it makes it to where it's going to be weaker and it's going to be easier to flex. So I just wanted to clarify that because we got a lot of questions about it in the comments. I didn't mean to confuse anybody. I know that sometimes you may not be able to hear me because of the wind. We're working on that, by the way. We're gonna get a cover for the microphone to make it to where it blocks the wind noise. But we're trying to, you know, I want everybody to be educated about it. Like some of you have seen in the comments where I've said that not everyone can be a 5th generation farmer, right? And it's not a bad thing, right? The millennial farmer and Welker farms, they're blessed. That's awesome that they have a family that kept a farm alive and thriving for that long. That's wonderful. But anybody can be a 1st generation farmer. You just have to have the drive to go and start it on your own. Not impossible, because those 5th generation farmers 5 generations ago, their great-great-great-grandparents or great-great-great-grandparents, they did that. So it's very possible, it's doable. You just have to be determined to make your dream come true. This is classified as something you don't want to hit with your mower conditioner or your haybine or kind of anything else, but specifically our mower conditioner, because we hit a rock last year and it did a lot of damage, about $700 in parts, and that was using or buying used parts to repair it. So it's important to make sure your hay fields are clean, no rocks, you know, no T-posts, nothing like that. Well, since this is the worst of this fence line, I am probably going to show you guys that trick again. You know, this one. Crap. I don't know why it does that. You know how the millennial farmer does it in coal? It's an instant for them. It's ridiculous. There. I'm just not doing it right, I guess. Must not be waiting long enough before I take my hand off. Anyways, that side's done. We'll finish up this side and that's it. That's all the fence line that we're going to be cleaning up for now, because that'll get us through what we need to be able to put our paddocks in. Eventually we'll do something with the hayfield perimeter, but right now, not a problem. We're not concerned about it. So I better get back to work. The supervisor's looking at me. He don't look happy. Supervisor should be happy. I mean, he don't look happy, but he ought to be happy. Got everything done. So I come through here with the chainsaw. We'll knock out some of these little shrubs or bushes or whatever they were that didn't make it. Cut them out. We don't want them growing in the fence line anyway. Any vegetation you have that's growing in this fence, like all this, it all holds moisture in, especially during the spring and summer. Holds all that moisture in, and it would actually start causing the wire to rust worse. The wire is galvanized, most of it's galvanized, or it's got some sort of coating on it to prevent rust. If you let it stay like this, it'll end up rusting far quicker than what it would have if it was kept clean. Other than that, now we just got to put those cross braces on. Are you excited that the channel's growing?
Yeah.
What should people do if they liked this video?
Hit the big thumbs up button.
What should they do if they want to continue to see all of our content?
Subscribe.
Oh, it's a good idea. You want to tell them?
Subscribe.